A young woman walked into our clinic with severe panic attacks, and this is what shocked me. Every single anxiety episode began with intense stomachache, but when we treated her gut infection, the anxiety disappeared completely. This is no coincidence. Actually, it's medical, and today I'll reveal to you the exact protocol of how to heal your gut and your mind. Welcome back to HP Clinic, and this is where we make everyday health experiences make sense. If you love watching this kind of videos, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Now let's begin with some mind-blowing truths. Already proven statistics. Number one is that 90% of all your serotonin is also your happy chemical, alright? It's produced in your gut and not in your brain. Can you imagine that? To mean that if your gut is not happy, your body as a whole won't be happy. Number two is that your gut has over 500 million neurons to it, and that is why it is called your second brain. These are more neurons than your spinal cord, and they constantly communicate with your brain. And number three is that the vagus nerve is the information pathway, so that 80% of information is coming from the gut to the brain, not the other way around, to mean that an inflamed gut equals a brain that receives danger signals all the time, and that equals to a lot of anxiety and depression and brain fog. In my practice as a clinical officer, I see this pattern weekly. Patients think they need psychiatric review or psychiatric medications, but when you run tests, all you can find is H. pylori, gut dysbiosis, bloating, etc. So treat the gut, the mind will heal. It's all that connected. Very simple. So why do you feel exactly the way you feel? Okay, let's begin with gut dysbiosis, also called the microbiome imbalance. You see, we have good bacteria and bad bacteria inside your gut. So the good bacteria will produce calming neurotransmitters like serotonin. The bad bacteria will constantly produce inflammatory compounds. So if you have an imbalance in these, where the bad bacteria are working over the good bacteria, then you'll have anxiety, you have brain fog, you'll have depression, and all these kind of things. And number two is the leaky gut syndrome. Your intestinal lining should be smooth like this one, right? But in the leaky gut syndrome, you find that your intestinal lining has like tiny spores, like gaps, which allow toxins to escape into your blood system. And then when these toxins escape into the blood, they go ahead and cross the blood-brain barrier, also the BBB. The blood-brain barrier is a protective system of cells and structures which will control what can and cannot enter the brain from the bloodstream. So the blood-brain barrier is such kind of a membrane. It is semi-permeable, so it will selectively allow other things to pass coming from the blood, and it will like protect the brain from other compounds that may be harmful to the brain. Alright, it's like a filter or a security gate. So when these toxins cross the blood-brain barrier, they will cause inflammation in your brain, and the obvious result will be anxiety. So the next one is the vagus nerve dysfunction. The vagus nerve is the main nerve of the parasympathetic nervous system. In a previous video, we talked about how stress can affect your heart, and we talked about how to use the parasympathetic nervous system to calm your body. So the vagus nerve connects the brain to nearly every major organ in the body: the heart, the lungs, the liver, the gut, constantly sending information from these organs to the brain. That is like 80% of all information, and then taking like 20% of that information from the brain back to the body. So when it's working well, it keeps your body in balance and in calm, slowing your heart rate, aiding digestion, relaxing muscles, and reducing inflammation. So when the vagus nerve is dysfunctional, the opposite happens. It means that the sympathetic nervous system, where your body stays in fight or flight mode, is dominating. And when this is happening, digestion will not be taking place, inflammation will be happening all over the body, you will be constantly anxious, never relaxed, your blood pressure high, your heart rate high, and this is how you lose the calm break on stress. And when this cycle continues, I can't imagine what your body will be going through. And now let's jump to the healing protocol. So the number one healing protocol is to identify the triggers. The only way to identify the triggers is to start a food mood journal. Give it a week, like 7 days, starting on Monday and ending on Sunday. What you want to find out is which food do I eat, and 2 hours later I get bloated, I get stomach upsets, and so on and so forth. So that is exactly what you will do over this period of time. Any food that gives you bloating 2 hours after the meal, you don't need it. It's a trigger, okay? So the common disruptors you'll find that will be gluten in wheat, dairy products, processed foods, and worst of them all will be sugar. The number 2 protocol is to heal your gut lining, and the essential healing foods, for example, would be bone broth. And studies have also shown that aloe vera juice is good, and slippery elms. You can do supplements, but make sure when you're doing supplements you've already consulted with your doctor. And I assure you that you'll see less bloating in 2 weeks' time, and mental clarity will follow. Number 3 protocol is to feed your gut bacteria, and this is my favorite of them all. This umbrella has 2 sticks, the prebiotics and the probiotics. Alright, probiotic foods add soldiers to your gut. They add the good bacteria to your gut, the food soldiers to your gut. So these are things like fermented cabbages, fermented porridge, kefir, plain yogurt, fermented vegetables. These are very good. They add active food soldiers, good bacteria. Then the next thing is the prebiotics. So the prebiotics are the food for these good bacteria. So once you fed your gut with these good bacteria, then you need to feed the good bacteria themselves with good food for them. These are the foods that are called the prebiotic foods. So you find things like garlic, things like onions, things like bananas, things like oats, asparagus, but do not overwhelm your system. Give it one fermented food after another. Then step 4 is to activate the vagus nerve. Do not allow it to be dysfunctional, okay? Activating your vagus nerve will calm your body. Splash cold water on your face. Does the same thing. Number 3, routinely sing to your favorite songs or even hum. That voice vibration will help activate your vagus nerve. Still does the same thing. Helps you relax your body, because that is what we want to achieve, right? Then the last one, gargle water for 30 seconds, for 10 seconds, for 15 seconds. Just gargle water. The same vibration will do the same thing and help us achieve what we want to achieve, which is relaxation of the body. So when you do all these things, you will realize that you will get better digestion, less bloating, more regular bowel movements, by the way, improved sleep quality, slightly better mood, noticeable anxiety reduction, better stress, resilience, clearer thinking, emotional stability, and the gut symptoms will be minimal or even gone. And this is not about replacing your mental health medication. If you are on medication, talk to your doctor, consult your psychiatrist, so that you can see the way you can bring all this on board together with your medication. So to put it all down, your anxiety is not just in your brain, it might be in your heart, it might be in your gut, and surprisingly, a larger percentage of all anxiety begin in the gut. And that actually is very good news, because the gut you can heal. All you need to do is just begin with 1 step a day. So I'm Ronald from HP Clinic, and this is where we make health experiences easy, practical, and when we explain them, they will obviously make sense. So if you love understanding how your brain and your body work with conventional medicine and holistic approach, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the coming episodes. And until next time, stay healthy, and remember that your gut health is your mental health.